Guys, welcome to Fanverse Pro episode 5. I'm the fan. I almost said I'm the pro. I'm not the pro at all.
Not yet.
Not yet, and I'm joined with the pro.
Hey guys, Justin here.
So how's it going, buddy?
I just realized today that I have been, because I was in that celebratory mood from Parasite winning the Oscar last night.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
I literally couldn't sleep.
You were that jazzed up about it?
I don't watch the Oscars. I haven't watched the Oscars in years. I don't watch any award shows because they're terrible. But as someone who has spent their entire life going, hey guys, you should watch this thing, it's subtitled. And that's been I realized I've been working on subtitles either as a fan or professionally for 25 years.
Yeah, that's and people don't realize that by the Oscars doing this validates foreign films and subtitles to a lot of people, because my parents, not that they're bad people, but they don't want to put the effort into reading subtitles. And even last night they were like they looked at each other and they were like, we should watch Parasite. And I was like, yeah, you guys should watch Parasite. Absolutely.
This does feel like some major dam coming down, doesn't it? I mean, already thanks to Netflix and all that sort of thing, people were giving foreign stuff more of a chance. Now that everything's online, people aren't as averse to reading as they used to be. This is something that we've been chipping away at for decades, and now are we here? I don't know. We're getting there.
Next year, if it happens again, if something like this happens again, then yeah, we're
definitely here. It's not going to happen next year. There's not that many good films out there, and half the time they're bad years, and we don't even have good homegrown movies.
What film won Best Picture last year? It was Green Book, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they were probably like, we need to make up for that. So
that's of course the the snarky way of putting it, but if you're here and you know how Hollywood works, everyone who got the right to vote on Oscars, it's like the biggest thing in their lives, and they take it super seriously. So there was really no hive mind. It's just they have a shit ton of geriatric actors. That's the real issue, is that we're talking about 80-year-olds who haven't worked in 30 years, but had one big hit that was Oscar nominated, in 1972.
And also, this is a big deal for Mr. Bong, because he's now tied for the most Oscars in one night, and the other person is the Disney Corporation.
No, not the Disney Corporation. Walt himself.
What was that?
I said, no, not the Disney Corporation. Walt himself.
Oh, Walt himself.
Yeah, so, in the 50s, some point in the 50s, he won for a bunch of different things, most of them completely forgotten now. But apparently he's not tied due to technicality. Apparently the best foreign film nomination belongs to Korea, not him.
Oh, shut up.
That was my reaction.
Oh, come on. Just give the guy that. Also, shout out to the person who translates for him. She is fantastic.
She was great. The Justin Chang, the LA Times film critic, ran into Bong at a party last night.
He did say he was going to drink until the next morning.
Yeah, he basically was just kind of wandering around muttering, "This is fucking crazy." Like, he just could not wrap his head around it, and frankly, neither can I. So
it makes me super happy. It makes me super happy.
Vana16 in the chat just said, Toy Story 4 getting Best Animated was a small price to pay for Parasite getting Best Picture. Although I agree, Toy Story 4 wasn't great. There really wasn't anything better this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, Promare. That would have been...
Okay. Promare was pretty good. I'm not an Imaishi fan, but yeah, Promare was quite an achievement.
Wait, Toy Story 4 came out this year? Or last year?
Over summer.
Wow. That feels like 3 years ago at this point.
It's been a year.
Wow. The old age.
But yeah, I can't believe Klaus got nominated. I tried to watch that over the holidays, and
I actually like Klaus.
I found it unwatchable. I fled the room. It is so paint by numbers, like template American kids film. Like, it's well animated, but it's just like, Jesus Christ, it's Mad Libs for for an American cartoon. It's just ugh. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not like upset about Toy Story 4 winning. Honestly, I thought that was fun. That was a good choice.
It's fine. Yeah.
I did like how Bong shouted out Quentin. He's like, before America was, fucking with my films, you were always putting them at the end, on like your list every year. And then also Martin, which I'm surprised, did The Irishman win anything?
No.
I'm actually really surprised about that.
I am too, but I'm happy because Irishman, had anyone else made that, would not have been celebrated. That movie, that should not
be
4 fucking hours long. My bladder has still not recovered.
Dude, that movie, my parents watched it. My parents can't sit through like an hour TV show. And by the end, I was like, you guys watched that? They were like, yeah. Your mom fell asleep, though. And I was like, yeah, okay. I totally get that. That should have been like a freaking mini series. They should have broken that up into like 3 episodes. Maybe
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, just speaking of miniseries, The Outsider, HBO.
I haven't seen it yet. It's on the list.
It's really good. There's a supernatural twist, and I don't know if I'm vibing with it as much as, because at the beginning it's just a cop show.
Okay.
With really good actors. But anyways, we're going to talk about Crazy Fans tonight. And do you want me to tell my short story real quick?
Sure. I mean, the good segue into this is like all the asshole like Marvel Cinematic Universe fans raging at Parasite winning.
Dude, did you see that
one video? Yes.
But that thing that what's his name? Chowder, something Chowder, Clam Chowder. You know what I'm talking about? The white guy, the Republican. Oh yeah,
that asshole.
Like the dude that's like, there's only 2 genders. Changed my mind. That asshole. I guess he has a live stream, and they're all dressed up, and they just freak out about Parasite winning. They're like, no.
How fragile do you have to be threatened by another country making a good movie?
I mean,
seriously, like, you're not even involved. Why is this?
I mean, maybe it's because I grew up as an anime fan, but like, I don't understand the fear of something foreign being fun to you. Like, I just don't get it. But and then like that guy that me and you both tweeted, not tweeted at, but we retweeted. It's like, this is them invading America and breaking it down from within or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I didn't retweet him, but I definitely reacted to him.
What? Who's a?
I mean, that guy's a known right-wing troll. Like, his whole account is just, it is what it is. The pasty white guy screaming on YouTube, though, and honestly, I'm kind of enjoying just everyone coming out of the woodwork to drag these people.
Yeah, I'm actually in a Discord. I'm not active in it. It's another manga tuber's Discord, and he has curated quite the right-wing little group of people. And one guy was like, the Joker pretty much does the same thing that Parasite does, but you can actually understand it. And then I kept scrolling, and he ended up dropping the N-word. This is a white kid. So I was like...
I'm shocked. Just shocked.
So shocked. I was like, okay. But yeah, so fans are absolutely batshit crazy. And,
yes.
And this should be a moment of celebration, but instead people are relishing in the fact that a language that they don't understand won the biggest movie award ever. But also, it's the lowest view numbers, I think. I think they came out and said 20-something million.
Yeah, 23. And yeah, honestly, I'm not shocked about that either, because I don't want to watch award movies or award shows. I think award shows are douchey, and celebrities think they have to use it as a pedestal to speak truth to power. But honestly, they're not celebrities because we respect their opinions on politics, even if they're right. And they just kind of come off as preachy and boring. And, you know, honestly, these shows are way better experienced the next morning on YouTube.
That's true. I saw what was it? Joaquin's speech through YouTube, which I thought was good. And then I saw I can't pronounce his name, Taki Watiti.
Yeah, Taika.
His speech was great too. Shouting
out his speech was great.
People just awesome. So also Jojo Rabbit, I'm glad that won something because I thought that movie was
I am too. It wasn't the best movie, but it really tried to do some new interesting things, and I really respect the hell out of it.
Yeah, me too. Yep, exactly. I was really glad it won something because I was really scared. I was like, it's not going to win anything. But he just seems like such a good guy.
I know, right? So likable.
Yeah, he's super likable. Just I think I read somewhere he was like, what better person to play Hitler than me? Like that's the ultimate FU to him. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. So crazy fans, I guess I made it, Justin. I have crazy fans now. Not to disrespect this person because he messaged me on Twitter, but I'm at work Friday night. We're busier than hell. And I thought I heard, oh my God, it's Flip Otaku. And I was like, man, that's just my brain. I'm being stupid. And then usually I do these super late night streams with friends, like 3 or 4 in the morning for an hour. And this dude goes, hey, I drove I think he said 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours to come eat your food. And I was like, okay. So I don't normally drop the name of my restaurant in streams, but I have worn a shirt with the logo on it. And I must have like stood up at one point or something. And I have been very open about who I am on YouTube, which I need to definitely tone it back, especially after this incident. So I said, why don't you, I go, if you came in, why didn't you say hi? And the dude just quit talking. He just said he came in, and then I got a Twitter message earlier, and the part that creeped me out, I actually screenshotted it. And hey, it's blank. I don't want to say his YouTube name. I didn't mean to come off creeper-like on your stream. My name is Jon, pronounced Sean. I just wanted to say I liked your restaurant and food. It was delicious.
That's a little weird. Unsettling.
It's a little
not
unsettling.
Okay. Boundary crossed.
Yeah, it's probably going to happen again. But I thought that was very fitting for tonight's episode because we're talking about crazy fans. And,
right.
And I'm sure you've got even worse stories.
Well, okay. The worst story I've ever heard was retold to me by a TV sci-fi actor friend of mine. And I still can't believe this happened. This was at some mainstream Comic-Con somewhere. I think it was either Jules Stady or Summer Glau from Firefly, one of the two. They were doing a meet and an autograph session, and so she was signing, and this one guy comes up and he's awkward, like so many fans are, and she was just like, did the autograph thing, and sent him on his way, and that was that. So she moves on to the next person. He comes back and says, I'm sorry, but can I just shake your hand? She's like, sure. She reaches out, squish.
Well, please don't tell me it's what my brain is going to. Semen?
Yep. He had jizzed in his hand and came up and she screams. The guy gets wrestled to the ground, and that's sexual assault, and he got fucking arrested.
Yeah. He should be in jail.
Yeah, she was ushered off to the backstage area, and she, to her credit, after she washed her hands and calmed down, she actually returned to the session, believe it or not.
I mean, Mary's got the right reaction. Huh? What? Like, wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anyone.
Okay, so there are two different lines, in my opinion, that fans like to cross. The first is the the fanboy line. That basically is like there's something about the human brain that short circuits when it comes to famous people or people with some kind of notoriety. It's because, media as we know it did not exist more than 120 years ago.
Yeah.
So the idea of celebrity is just not something that we are, our brains are functionally capable of really handling. So people that are not maybe altogether healthy in a healthy brain state, they tend to treat celebrities like there's some sort of mutual acknowledgement or respect there when really they don't know who the fuck you are. So voice actors get this the worst by far.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because voice actors, okay, so if you go to a con, you see that most people lining up for voice actors tend to be on the younger side. They tend to be a little more enthusiastic, I should say. And voice actors, especially the English ones, English language ones, they tend to be approachable and down to earth, and that's kind of, the appeal of going to a voice actor panel is that, it's your chance to get to know these people. So some people think that means they're friends now. This actually happens to industry people too, come to think of it. So it's very surprisingly common for me and a few industry friends to be at a con and just having 5 or 6 people in a group, just chatting, and some third party fan just comes up and clings on like wet toilet paper. It's like, I'm part of this group now, and we're like,
I have seen that happen firsthand.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot.
It's very awkward.
The wet toilet paper thing, and I've had them where they just they can't take a hint, and you just okay, just go, and then after a while, it becomes clear that you're going to have to disband as a group, and you have to come up with a way in code that they won't understand as to where to meet up later to continue your conversation. I've had to do that a lot of times. Voice actors, they get this. Okay, I've seen the female voice actors get sent random presents from strangers in the mail. And
I don't get people who have their P.O. box. I would be scared to open up a package from someone I do not know.
This has become a really common thing with YouTubers, and I don't...
People will tell me all the time, open up a P.O. box. I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't want you guys to like anthrax.
Well, yeah, and, God help you if it's food and, what's it laced with.
Yep.
So there was occasionally voice actors get letters from jail.
Okay.
I've seen a voice actor, I've actually witnessed this, open up a letter from a prison that was a guy asking for 5 autographed headshots of her so he could give them all to his family members as Christmas presents.
That's a pretty cool family if they all like a certain voice actor.
Okay, so a couple things here. First, I kind of doubt they care.
Yeah, true.
Secondly, is that really what he's going to do with them?
He's probably going to sell them for cash.
Right, whereupon they will be passed around the prison system with her name on it.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. I everything, you landed with the high mark with the semen, because that's still in my brain. I am trying to process what what happened to what was the moment. He had so much time to think that was a bad idea. He initially landed in his hand, during the act, in his hand, he looked at it. He probably should have said, I should wash my hands. This is dumb. And then he waited with semen in his hands for God knows how long.
Maybe he just kind of had this thought that it would be like a connection, be like thermal paste on a CPU, where it just
Maybe he thought she would marry him. She would drop to her knees and go, oh my God, This is what I've always been waiting for. This
A jizzy hand?
I'm gonna try that on my wife. I'm gonna wait for her to come out of the bedroom one morning and just go, Taylor, high five. And
Very happy that you're far enough away that you can't crash at my place.
I would never do that to you, Justin.
Well-
We're married.
Yeah, but when you're inevitably kicked out of the house,
I'm never doing that. I'm gonna tell Taylor that because she's gonna have a strong visceral reaction to that story. She's gonna be like,
anyone would. That is horrifying. That is the worst story. I mean, that's like a Harvey Weinstein level offense.
it's yeah. That might be the worst thing I've heard all week.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's pretty bad. That said,
Harvey
the
Weinstein
reason.
and voice actors, VIX fans are really, really just overbearing.
Yeah, we weren't gonna get into this.
I just wanted to make a joke. Harvey Weinstein.
Go ahead. Oh,
See,
great. Thanks. Now this unleashes the second wave of crazy fans.
I'm sure we're. I mean, I've seen people dedicate, like when that was at the height. It was like early on in doing YouTube videos, and people were like, "You should react to it," and I was like, "No,
Nope.
no,
Nope. We're good.
Waste of my time, and I don't think people would like what I have to say about the Vic situation.
I mean, what can you really say at this point that hasn't already been said?
It's just I don't understand. But those fans, dude, like you get like they have like core evidence, that he's lost the court case, and they still
Stop. We're not rehashing this.
Okay.
Stop it.
Sorry. So you continue with your cum-filled crazy fan stories.
Yeah. So like I said, there were two categories. The first is the excited fan who gets too excited about meeting someone. The second category are the incensed fan who forgets that people on the industry side are humans.
Yeah.
So there was this one guy for years who would keep sending and this guy, clearly English was not his first language, and he admitted that he didn't know Japanese either, but he would be really enraged by official language releases for things not matching word for word the translation of whatever fan sub he watched. And of course, because he watched the fan sub, imprinted on it like a baby bird, and of course that is, this unimpeachable, high watermark for translation based on nothing, even though they, translated by ear and it's probably riddled with mistakes. So what he would do is he would type us a hates grade with screenshots comparing the professional version and the fan sub. How dare we with each one? These letters would be 30 plus pages long. And he'd snail mail them to us.
Did you guys read every page?
Oh, hell no. After like a couple pages, you're just like, whoa, this crazy pants McGee over here. And then you just throw it in the shredder.
Did you guys ever feel scared that he would show up to your office?
Well, that was New York. I never worried. I wonder if Funimation ever worries about stuff like this, because I feel like if that would happen anywhere and you'd have something to fear, it'd be Texas.
Yeah. Yep.
Not to stereotype, but there's a lot of, New York, I feel like people would be intimidated by our office enough and also not be able to find it. But Texas, it's, you just drive there.
And Funimation probably gets the most hate out of any studio.
Yeah, they do. And part of that is, just A, they're the biggest game in town. B, they're the most established, and anime fandom is filled with young, rebellious people, and to them, they represent the man.
Yep.
And, C, I have to admit that their outreach has gotten a lot more conservative since, the days of, Adam Sheehan and Justin Rojas, where, there was a face behind the product and people actually could feel like they got to know the studio and the people involved behind the scenes. They don't do that anymore so much at Funimation. They're a little more staid. They act a lot more like a Hollywood studio, and they don't really have that one-on-one connection anymore. In fact, I just got my digital copy of Hinamatsuri, and my code doesn't work. I can't even figure out who to contact over there.
I've had that happen quite a bit with them. It's a little upsetting.
Yeah. So that, and the way they've cut corners on a few things like menu design and stuff like that. It's not an unreasonable thing for a fan to make a giant leap and go, well, it seems like they just don't care that much. Behind the scenes, they do care. I know they do care. I know a lot of those people over there, and they care. But, they don't know what's happening. They don't know what's happening with the production committee. They don't know what's happening with the deals behind the scenes. They don't know what's happening with, like, stuff they've co-licensed with Crunchyroll back when that was a marriage.
And someone just asked, does Funny get more hate than Aniplex? I feel like Aniplex's hate is just that they're gouging prices on stuff. Funimation, I've seen people literally threaten them on Twitter.
I've never seen anyone literally threaten them. I do have a friend that used to work for Viz that got charged at a con with a knife once.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was another arrest.
Manga fans, speaking of Viz, Viz switched their logo on their spine like midway through last year. Yeah. And people lost their fucking shit over this little tiny logo at the bottom of each book. And I've seen people freak out and send death threats to Viz over this logo.
Imagine sending death threats over changing your logo so the spines on your manga don't match.
It's literally this. This is the old one. This is the new one. The new one's actually very sleek. Shout out to Doro Hidoro. But yeah, people just get a little too like Aniplex. Do I hate Aniplex? Have I bought 3 of their box sets? Yeah. So
I feel like this is all one needs to really know about you.
Gurren Lagann and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Bought both of them.
Look, I mean, the very nature of otaku is someone who, has more fandom than common sense sometimes. That's why people, spend how many thousands of dollars have you spent on anime and manga in the last year?
Justin. If people are finding my restaurant, I don't want them to know how much money I've spent on this bullshit. Nah, it's a lot.
Yeah. So, obviously among those, there's going to be a handful that are unhinged. That said, the good fans are worth their weight in gold. Honestly, I can say this outright. I would not have a career if it weren't for the helpful fans.
Not to toot my horn, but I am a helpful fan.
Okay, sure.
I love you guys. Hey, no, I've had 3 people in the last 48 hours tell me that they bought Just Being because of me again. So I keep holding that torch high.
Okay. So I mean, all right. I'll give you an example though. Back in the early DVD era, when I was at Central Park Media. Central Park Media was having some problems with some of their discs, and I jumped on as an industry person just to kind of ask some questions and get better feedback as to what was going on. And I was able to get some real good, solid answers and help fix the problem. And from there, honestly, a lot of those people taught me a lot of the base level skills of what I knew that for me to eventually get into DVD authoring. And later Blu-ray. It's fans like that really, if you listen and you engage with the right ones, they can really teach you something. But it's not. I feel like a number of industry people, if they do engage with the fans at all, it's just for stroking their own ego. But most of them don't even do that. Most of them maintain a healthy distance because there are fans that are cool, and then there are fans that just like, okay, if I tell you something, you're just gonna blab and you're gonna be really into like how big it makes you look online. It's just, there's so much that can be at stake that you don't want to entrust someone who has no actual financial stake in the right outcome,
I try not to be that clingy weird fan, like, because the first time I ever messaged you, it was a question about Giant Gorg. I was like, hey, is this getting fucking reprinted? What's going on?
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't do Giant Gorg.
You were like, I don't know. It's Discotheque's having stock issues. And then I messaged you like 2 months later and was like, hey, do you want to do a podcast? And then I think we spent as much time off air just chatting as we did on air chatting. And then eventually we switched phone numbers and just started chatting. And now we're buddies.
Right.
And I try to do that with everyone. Like I've had.
And for what it's worth, this show was my idea.
Yes, it was 100% his idea. It was not mine. I did not want to go, hey, you want to start a podcast with me, dude?
Hey, we could cam.
You got a webcam, Justin?
My God. So that reminds me of there were a couple there were a couple guys back at the anime club that we used to really make fun of behind their back. There are some fans who just have no self-awareness and don't realize how they come off. And I don't know how to teach that. I don't know how to politely go, hey, did you know that when you open your mouth, chills run down our spine?
There's a couple people every time Discotheque tweets. There's a couple people that I've seen on Twitter. It's the same faces, same avatars every time. And I'm just like, ooh, come on, knock it off. Come on. God, you're a grown man. Let's try to reel it back. Speaking of crazy fans, you guys have good fans, but you guys have fans that just scream at you to license shit all the time.
Yeah, we just ignore them. I mean, what else can you do?
Do you guys ever see one and go, oh, that might be a good license?
No, because I guarantee you, if it was a good license, it's come up already. I mean,
that's true.
The way licensing old stuff works is that you go to each licensor that you can work with, and they have a catalog ready of stuff that they are prepared to sell the rights to, and you go, oh, how much is this one? And they're like, well, let's talk. And then you make an offer, and then they go, ha ha ha, later.
Do they ever make a counteroffer? Do they ever go like,
They go, oh, I think Funimation wants this. And we're just like, no, they don't. And you're just like, yeah, no, I think Funimation wants it. All right, have a great day. And
is that how Discotheque lost interspecies reviewers?
You've just been dying to wedge that into the conversation. We got a lot of new views last week because of that.
A lot. Speaking of that channel, Cartoon Cypher. Shout out to them. We got a bunch of
thanks for the link. We appreciated it.
And then me myself, I got since the last episode, I've got like another 80 subscribers, which is just kind of insane. So I'm almost at 3.1K. So thank you everyone for the support.
Nice.
This is wow. We're at 227 subscribers. So
yeah,
it's good.
It's funny. I'm coming at this from having written for Anime News Network for so long, and all these numbers are just like, oh man, we have a mountain to climb. But this is nice. This is nice. I like having a small audience. I'm more likely to be able to say things and not get in trouble.
Yeah, I'm very bad about that too. So that's why I never archive one of my streams. It's because I say some not savory stuff sometimes. And
all of our streams are archived.
No, I'm talking about my channel.
Oh.
Most of my streams, if it's just a random stream, it's not archived. It gets deleted the moment I go out there. So
smart. Yeah, I'm like, we have this as a podcast. We have it in 2 different forums.
Yeah. But what is the absolute, besides the cup, what is the absolute craziest thing that's happened to either someone you know personally or you directly?
Well, I know someone. Well, honestly, the friend that got charged at with the knife was pretty bad, and that was over something not being available free to stream.
What was the show?
I'm not going to say because I'll give it away who it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It wasn't a new show.
I don't want to take a guess.
Yeah. Off the air, I'll tell you. But let's see. There was one friend of mine who lived in a gated community, and someone mailed him a snapshot, like an analog snapshot of his front door.
Like a Polaroid?
This was back in the film era, but yeah, I think so.
Holy shit.
Yeah, in a threatening manner, I might add.
What does this person do?
He was a journalist.
So just a journalist.
Yep, anime journalist. He had some opinions that were disagreed with.
I don't know what's wrong with human beings.
I swear, like, that's the big problem with the internet is you forget the humanity of people. People act in a way. I mean, honestly, this is why I'm doing the stream with you rather than writing, is because I think I'm actually less likely to get threats this way. Watch me be proven wrong now. But seriously, if you have eye contact with someone, almost no one has the balls to go up to someone to their face and say, "Hey, you're gonna die, and I'm gonna fucking end you." That doesn't happen unless, I mean, it happens, but very, very rarely. And there's a handful of people with that much confidence and balls to actually do that. However, behind the keyboard and the anonymity of the internet, everyone's a fucking warrior.
That's true.
So, there's that eliminates that circuit that our brains just tell us, like, oh, actual human, don't want to ruffle any feathers. I'm sorry, bye.
Do you know what George is talking about? The one time CPM's John O'Donnell caused a mini riot at New York Anime Fest.
Wasn't that just because he just started giving shit away? I think it's just because he started giving shit away.
People love free shit.
Yeah, I mean, ADV had caused some similar garbage back when they had their giant 2-story booth and started banging a drum and throwing t-shirts and swag. They would clear the dealer room, and everyone, like this flood of people, would just come rushing the ADV booth to try to catch something. And A, it was really dangerous. B, all the other people, dealers in the dealer room were really pissed because they could be mid-transaction. Someone be like, get all excited and run off with whatever it was they were about to buy without paying.
For a t-shirt.
Sometimes it wasn't even that. It was like the bullshit, soap tchotchkes they gave away, or like the Najika panties or whatever. It was worthless stuff. It was worthless.
See, every time we talk, you tell me something about cons, anime cons, the whole yaoi paddles or something.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
And then now this, I'm glad I don't go to fucking cons because this sounds awful. It sounds absolutely awful.
That got banned. The ADV, after like doing that for a year, basically every con, just like, okay guys, no more of that shit, or you're out. And it worked, and that was it. And honestly, I still have a good time at certain cons. It's all about like hanging out with your friends and meeting.
What's your favorite con?
Honestly, Otakon.
Yep.
Otakons are people. Otakon's the good people. And the people I met at Otakon last year, one person actually came up to me, and I'm a huge fan of Go Shogun the Time Étranger, one of my all-time favorite anime movies. And I got to work on the Blu-ray. Someone comes up to the booth while I'm at the booth and says, "You're Justin Spakes?" I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "I wanted to give you this," and just hands me a fucking Go Shogun the Time Étranger art book that I'd never seen before.
Whoa.
I almost started crying. Because that, like, and he didn't want anything. He was just like, "This is just a thank you." I'm just like,
That's awesome. You know,
Yeah.
if anyone wants to hand me an art book and it's Mead the Mead Gundam art book, I will totally cry. I will totally
His
cry.
address is
My address is apparently it's easy to find, so come on down.
well, your restaurant anyway.
If someone actually came to the restaurant, if that dude's listening, and if you came to the restaurant with a Mead Gundam artwork, I would send you home with like 3 free extra large loaded up pizzas. So
You know, it's funny. We started this podcast going, it's like, this is creepy. I don't want gifts. Why are people sending you stuff? And now look
yeah,
at
but
you.
but you said hey, this art book, and I was like, oh shit, me
Oh,
did
I
a,
didn't solicit that. I didn't. I would never ask that from people. I honestly, I have enough anime crap. I don't really even need to buy anymore, except for the new stuff that I actually want that I pre-order.
I don't have enough crap either. I just
Yo, yeah, no, clearly just mountains and
speaking of discotheque, and also I just saw her in the chat, Mary. I was on our Samsung TV. Is this a thing? They have TV channels built into the TV because we don't have cable.
yeah, actually, they're licensed a licensed chunk from Pluto TV is what they are.
Okay, so Asian Crush and Midnight Pulp were both on, and one of them was playing Robot Carnival.
Yep.
And I was like, wait a minute, am I sitting down on my couch watching Robot Carnival on TV? This is cool as shit. Like that is awesome.
I mean, yeah, there's Pluto TV is a lot of good stuff, and
It actually does. There's a whole channel of just girls dancing to techno music.
there's a whole channel of literally a camera mounted on the front of a train in Norway going through the mountains.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
amazing. I think the idea is you just get really, really stoned and just zone out in front of it.
Justin, we should get stoned together.
I'm not okay. So I got stoned last night for the first time in a long ass time, and all that ended up happening is I made a fourth meal.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a little fourth meal.
I'm trying to cut back. It's post holidays, and I just had a carb party, and things are bad. Things are going badly.
Taylor last night goes, was it last night or today? She goes, do you want to go get some weed? Because it's legal here now. We can just go buy it. And I was like, I mean, no, but the idea of buying marijuana sounds awesome. Sounds
That's
really
the
cool.
opposite of how most people are.
I don't know. I don't like being high. So, but I would totally get high with a handful of people, and you're one of them.
So, yeah, I'm honestly.
Could you imagine me and you getting high, and then I'm making fucking Alfredo, and you're making some kind of dessert, and then we just that'd be awesome. Look at you.
Okay, so I'm not a fun stoner. I'm more a sit there and quietly annoy myself kind of stoner.
I am me times 11. So if you can handle me now.
Okay, yeah, we're done.
You don't want to get. But I will make you some good Alfredo.
Well, it is weird because drunk, I'm pretty much exactly the same person as I am sober. If anything, I'm a hair nicer.
I'm super nice and super loving when I get drunk, like just insanely, and it embarrasses Taylor because I will we'll be out to eat, and I'll just be like, I'll tell the person waiting on us, I'll be like, my wife is so beautiful, and then my wife's like, all right, stop. I'll be like, Taylor, you're hot, and she's like, all right, stop, knock it off. So
anyway,
it's better than the alternative. It's better than coming in my hand and high-fiving a famous person.
I don't want to make it sound like all the fans are this creepy. And the nice ones I do like interacting with. The problem is that the creepy ones don't know they're creepy, and so they don't self-separate. So if you open yourself up to the nice people, you also open yourself up to the, borderline call the police people.
Mary has a question for you. Justin, did you ever have any crazy drunk nights working at IATV?
Oh, I'm sure I did.
What is
I
IATV?
had more. IATV is Imagination TV, and that's the last. I worked from there before I went back to Anime News Network. They were a startup that was run by the same people as later started Asian Crush.
Mhm.
All roads lead back to Justin, by the way.
You're like the Kevin Bacon of the anime industry.
Oh god, that's terrifying. Um,
No, like
regardless,
you know the game 7 or 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Like you can
no, yeah,
always go back.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I can't think of any because all my memories of imagination are of me being really angry with what a complete shit show it was and commiserating with my fellow level-headed coworkers. I mean, it's impossible for me to overstate what a gigantic shit show imagination was. It was a train wreck. Um, so yeah.
Ian Whitcomb wants to know, did you work at Sushi TV too?
Do you know about Sushi TV?
No, what is that?
Okay, Sushi TV. That he's joking there because that Sushi TV was an attempt at a late night syndicated um, block of usually a hyper violent OVA that was cut down to borderline TV acceptability. That was hosted by a sultry woman in a tight black dress, basically, talking as if she was hosting a 900 number.
That does not. I mean, that sounds like something that I would have probably watched as a young man.
Well, it never actually aired. The only thing that exists of it is there's a sizzle reel that they cut together. I think it was Summit Entertainment back when they were a tiny company. They licensed, clips from like Armitage the Third and a few other, kind of violent OVAs and sexy looking things that but the one that they went with for the actual like example of how an episode would go was MD Geist. So it's on it's on YouTube. Just Google it. It's up there. It's terrible. The show never actually even existed. It only exists in this little sizzle reel that they tried to entice some TV buyers, and it didn't work, and they never went into production. But it was just one of those weird things that early days of anime happened.
I love MD Geist.
Okay.
I just bought it from Selby. Like,
yeah, you haven't watched it yet, have you?
I have. What else?
You had that 2-disc set that I slaved over that was a nightmare, wasn't it?
It says it's got like a DVD. It's I don't know, like the packaging, the wording of the packaging is like DVD ROM. It's like really weird.
Yeah, that's ours. That's definitely ours. Yeah, if you crack open that box, I'm on the credits.
Are you really?
Oh yeah.
Hey, will you sign my MD Geist box set?
No.
Come on, Justin. I thought that we were.
Yeah, I'll probably do it. Alex Jamal asks, do you know anyone who worked with Manga Entertainment in the OOs? Yeah, I knew. I think this guy Keith Burgess, big guy, used to go to cons. Super gregarious. Used to brag loudly about how he also shot porn on the side.
Good for him.
That was my reaction.
Good for him.
As like a director.
So you're not even doing the thing that you would want the reaction from. You're just directing.
Right. Regardless, I'm not. I don't know what happened to him after they closed the Chicago office and got absorbed into Stars. I haven't heard. I know the guy that is still in charge of the brand over at Stars, but as a company, they don't really exist by themselves anymore.
We have another comment, Justin. Why don't they change more dubs like they did with the Ghost Stories dub?
Because finding a Japanese licensor to go along with it is very, very rare. Most Japanese licensors hate it when you do that. B, finding a show that it'll work with is very, very rare. Most of the really, really old stuff that they'll let you get away with that on is A, really, really old, B, really, really slow, C, looks like absolute ass animation-wise. and then doing it well is not easy. There are quite a few hack and slash, rewrite the script dubs that tried to punch up the comedy, and most of them are completely forgotten today because they were terrible. Super Milk Chan.
I'm really looking forward to that new Gundam Seed dub that Right Stuff is working on.
That'll be interesting. Do we know the studio they're using?
No,
I don't think Right Stuff is dubbing it. I think Sunrise is dubbing it.
Sunrise is dubbing it? Okay.
Usually, yeah. Sunrise takes care of their own dub, so it'll likely, if it's a series, it might be Bang Zoom. Usually, last time I checked, Sunrise uses NYAV for their OVAs and movies, and Bang Zoom for their series. But don't quote me on that. They might have a different plan in the works.
Someone said that look of Justin's eyes, PTSD, when Flip said he liked MD Geist.
Okay, that was a month of my life I'll never get back. Okay, so because it was John O'Donnell's favorite and he had all rights to it, we had to just throw the kitchen sink on that disc. So I was tasked with re-editing Tim Eldred's comicization of MD Geist. Now, Tim Eldred's a brilliant guy and a great comic artist, and what he did was he fixed the plot so it makes sense. But then the version that we had to edit it to was the director's cut, which had a whole bunch of new scenes that weren't in Tim's manga adaptation or comic adaptation.
So do you just hate that show?
There are shows that are worse. There are definitely shows that are worse and more enraging and more but it's not something I think of fondly.
How do you feel about? Did you work on Cybernetics Guardian?
No, that was done by the time I got there and had nothing.
That's in my car right now from Discotheque. So I'm waiting to.
They're all these Koichi Ohara super gory, like monster body horror cheese fests.
I love that shit. I think that's so rad. There's a dude I follow on Twitter who is like a MD Geist fan.
There are some hardcore MD Geist fans out there.
Like I don't understand that. I like it. I don't.
But you like it ironically.
Yeah. Let's just say that so you don't hate me.
I mean, I do get a little bit of the appeal. I mean, my favorite thing about that is if you listen to the director commentary track, it's basically just him and his screenwriter friend cringing at how, like, oh God, I was 22 when I made this. I would do this way differently now.
I think that's one of the only shows that I've had on. Taylor has been like, no, turn that off. No, we're not watching that. I'm like, okay. Someone asked, Jeff asked,
World of Norway? Yep, that was, I worked on World of Norway. You can tell by how meticulous the credits were rendered.
Someone said, Justin, which Lupin dubcast do you like the best?
I haven't seen them all, but I do like the manga video dub of Cagliostro. But I actually have a soft spot in my heart for the UK dub of which one was it? I actually don't like the OVA, or the TV series or special. It was the Dizaki TV special. What was it? Goodbye Lady Liberty, I think it was.
And then Vana says, if you had to redo one over again, MD Geist or Cyborg?
Oh, MD Geist.
Because I didn't take a year.
Right. Yeah, MD Geist, like, here are the masters. Okay. Yeah, I'll be done with it in an afternoon if I really crunch away at it.
So, Lizard, when you say Genocyber is worse than MD Geist, like...
Oh, absolutely. Well, gore-wise, yes.
Okay, because I'm going to add that to my cart.
I love Genocyber, unironically. In fact...
Wait. Okay, yeah.
In fact, when I was a fucked up teenager, I once answered Genocyber to a particular card in the Rorschach test.
Wait.
I was taking a Rorschach test, and there was this one, ink blob they held up, and I'm like, oh, it's Genocyber. And they're like, what's Genocyber? I'm like, it's a cartoon.
How old were you?
Like 16. You have to understand, Genocyber, the second episode of Genocyber opens with 3 children being machine gunned into pieces
I love that.
in graphic detail.
As a dad, sometimes I want to do just that to other people's kids. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, my mother said the same thing.
How did it feel to remaster Night on the Galactic Railroad for Discotheque and really make that release definitive?
Oh, dream come true. Absolute dream come true. That was one of my all-time favorite movies.
Then Alex Jamal says, do you know the history of the Caglioso family-friendly dub?
Yes. Basically, Brady got access to the stems of the manga video dub because we're actually both friends with Les Claypool, the guy that originally mixed the dub. So he was able to, of the various elements he had, we're able to recut a less sweary version of it.
Speaking of anime,
Really, anime? We're talking about anime?
Flip, you watched the dub of Garzy's Wing yet? No, I have not. I have not watched.
Did you find it?
I found a copy, but I think I bought other stuff instead. So, but it's something I am planning on watching, just because it's Tomino. So,
I can't wait. I really can't wait.
What happens if I love it though? Like, is friendship over?
No, I think I would be more intrigued than anything. Like not in a respectful way, but definitely intrigued.
Thanks, Justin. Thanks. Flip, do an interview with Les and Mary Claypool at some point.
Oh yeah, they're such great people. Although Les has really, really severe tinnitus at this point. That's why he had to retire from anime work. So I'm not entirely sure that he could do this remotely.
I think Les is in a Facebook group I'm in.
Probably. Yeah, he is super, super great guy. I love Les.
Showed Genocyber at an anime club one time after an Idol show. Real palate cleanser.
More like palate ripper off.
So, Justin, we didn't really have any questions this week. So, we could just shoot the shit for the last 4 minutes.
Okay.
What have you been watching?
I'm a shit shooter.
Reading.
What have I been watching? Actually, last night I just started the Oscar winner for Best Documentary, American Factory.
Yeah, was it good?
I'm halfway through. It's really, really good, but I got pulled away today. This is so dumb. I just had to take my new car into the body shop today.
Oh yeah. Do they all know what happened?
No, I don't think so. So this was so dumb. So I go out to this one suburb. There's these really, really cheap clothed massages that, I'm a very, very intense person. And I just, like, cheap massages, yay. And my dad was in town, so I brought my dad, and we had a massage. We're both very tightly wound people. So we had the hour long. It was $20. We're blissed out. We go back to the car, and he's talking to me, and I'm distracted, and I go to pull the car out, and I completely forget I'm parked next to a pillar and just jack up my door. So I've had this car 2 months.
When you texted me the photo, I was like, oh no, he got into a crash.
Like, no, I'm just stupid.
Hey, I've never done something like that.
Good for you. For you.
So if I watch Garzy's Wing and love it, and you start making fun of me, I'm gonna. I've never opened up my door to a pole before.
Oh no! I didn't open up the door. I swung into the pole while I was pulling out.
Oh my! Oh wow! Oh, Justin.
Yeah, I'm really dumb.
I have a question, Justin. How did you feel when you woke up and saw the pilot hit you in the middle of the night?
Okay, without letting that linger longer, that's from Mark, and he was referring to the pile of QC reports he sent me in the middle of at like 1:30 a.m. last night, which honestly, that's just so expected from Mark. I didn't even bat an eye. I'm just like, okay, yeah, of course he just saved these up to just bury me on Monday morning. That's exactly what he would do.
Oh, I do want to announce Logan and I will be reviewing the Reconquista NG film tomorrow, 9 p.m. CST on my channel. So if you want to hear two Gundam nerds talk about a film, I feel like Logan's going to have a lot to say because it's his second favorite Gundam series. So, but man, I love the characters in that show. Like the artwork is just so good. Have you seen the characters from?
I haven't seen Reconquista NG, no.
The characters designs are done by the same dude who did your Raka 7.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
So it looks very bonesy.
Yeah. Question for Flip. Have you ever heard of the honor of seeing Dark Cat? What is this?
Dark Cat is really shitty OVA where it's like a badly written high school horror story where everyone explodes into penis monsters.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
It had the potential to be awesome, except it's so badly composed and badly shot and badly drawn that it's just like it goes nowhere. It's completely pointless. You're like, okay, well, here's a bunch of penis monsters.
I like penis monsters. Mark says, I haven't finished Reconquista. I use it as a having a bad day show. Do you have a having a bad day movie or show? Because mine was Failure to Launch with Matthew McConaughey for a while.
For a long time, it was the floating on the boat scenes from original Ghost in the Shell movie.
Just on repeat, those two scenes?
I didn't repeat them, but I did. Oh, well, if I'm having like a really bad, like existential crisis level bad day, probably only yesterday.
Speaking of Ghost in the Shell, what are your opinions on the live action film?
Oh, it's terrible.
I liked it. I didn't hate it.
I didn't
hate it. I just, as a fan of that series, it's.
I don't know anyone who's a fan of that series that likes it except for you.
Okay. Let me back up. I like seeing set pieces from that IP with a high budget to it. I think it looked amazing. Now, Alita is definitely my favorite.
Well, the problem is they basically cloned those scenes, and they didn't quite get it right, like because they weren't real martial artists, the action wasn't fast enough, etc. But the problem is those scenes in the original meant something, and in this movie they mean nothing.
I want to sound like an old man for a second because we're talking about. I mentioned Alita. This might be one of my. This is top 5 for me now.
The manga.
It's so fucking incredible. Like
it is really good. I read it years ago.
So good. And first off, I would hate to be the mangaka and have to draw Alita's hair every fucking time because it's such great detail. I don't see any of my friends on MangaTube pick this up.
Because it came out 25 years ago here.
But Kodansha put out these beautiful hardcovers, like amazing hardcovers, and there's a whole box set you can get for like probably less. I've seen it go for less than $100 on Amazon. It's 6 books. Seriously, one of the best mangas I've ever read. And man, I was just like reading it, like just look at that, just absolute masterwork. Just this is probably the best thing I've read in a long time because I've been reading a lot of shit. So a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah, but how can you tell? You like everything.
Did you watch my Godmazinger review, Justin?
Yes, I did actually. It was kind of funny.
I was like, I don't know. It's not good, but I don't know. I kind of like it.
Yeah, that was how we did it. It's just like, yeah, this is really bad, but I kind of like it.
Which is pretty much most of the stuff I tend to like is like I know stuff is just Jeff said that it's a hollow movie with nice visuals, and sometimes that's all I want. That's how I feel about Fast and the Furious. Which, did you see the trailer for that?
I don't remember.
Han is back, Justin.
We've been over this. I have not seen a single Fast and Furious movie.
Dude, oh my god, dude.
But I saw every single Oscar movie this year, and I'm very proud of that.
I don't think I haven't seen 1917.
I didn't see Ford versus Ferrari. That was the only one. I saw the rest.
It was George says Flip needs to do a live stream where he just watches infamous OVAs. I
could start a list for you.
I'm going to start with Garzy's Wing. There's a program called Cast too, where I can just send people a link and they can watch what my screen is watching, and then I'll stream reactions on YouTube, and everyone can watch it together. So that'll be fun, and we can all watch Garzy's Wing as a group.
That's not really legal, so I'll just pretend I didn't hear that.
Okay, guys, never mind. Just don't forget anything I said. Just forget what I said. Go buy God Mazinger. It is a 10 out of 10 show.
No, it's not.
Dude,
you said by your own admission it's a 10 out of 10 show.
You know how excited I was for that show? I was like, all right, I can kind of get behind the rough budget. That's fine, because I love Gotcha Man, and some of those episodes are absolute horse shit. So I was like, I can get behind a rough budget, but the show just doesn't go anywhere. Just doesn't go anywhere. And then I'm like, how many dinosaurs can you rip in half? You know?
I mean, when you said that was happening on Twitter, I'm like, oh, gee, maybe I should have watched it more. But then,
no, like literally, like it'll be like a close up of the dinosaur, and the camera will shake. It'll be a close up of the mech, and or whatever it is. It's not really a mech, and just shake. And then it'll do like a nice animation of him ripping the dinosaur in half, and then the dinosaur just like phasers, like turns pink and phasers out. It's weird.
They can't. It's a kids show. They can't like show entrails spilling all over the ground.
I really wish I was a kid back in those days and just like watching this stuff, because it's probably mind blowing.
No, you don't, because A, everything was beige. B, you go into a shopping mall, everything smells vaguely of menthol cigarettes, and C, there was no internet.
Yeah, that's true, but it was like peak mecha anime and peak tokusatsu. So like for me,
but none of it came to America. None of it.
That's why I wish I was a Japanese kid.
Oh, Japanese kid.
In 1984. That would have been amazing.
That would have been. I think. I don't know. I'm very much a child of the moment. I love my digital media collection. It's pretty great.
Also, one of my next reviews is going to be for this. I just got this off of people's recommendations. Geo Armor Kenshin Corpse. So
Kenshin Corp. I haven't seen that in 20 years.
I'm gonna be watching this here shortly, and then I picked up this from a friend.
I'm curious what you think of it. It didn't hold my attention when I was a teenager, and that's a pretty low bar. So,
I've been a spaz lately. I also picked up this called Yokai Monsters. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
So this is it's a tokusatsu puppet show. And there's 3 volumes. The first 2 are pretty cheap. The third one is, of course, it's always one of something that's out of print. It's insanely expensive. And it looks absolutely crazy. So I'm going to be watching this here shortly too. Yeah, it looks wild. Yokai Monsters. I can't wait. It looks so bad. Super excited about that.
At some point, guys, we will find something that Flip doesn't like.
I don't
legitimately can't stand.
I cannot stand Naruto. I think it's absolutely garbage. Like anything about Naruto. I hate Naruto. I hate Naruto. I hate Bleach, especially Bleach. I hate a lot of shonen. I don't own any shonen Blu-rays except for Yu Yu Hakusho. And would JoJo's count? I guess JoJo's.
Didn't you own every Discotheque Blu-ray?
That's true, but I'm talking about shonen. Oh, I guess Reborn. Reborn was Shonen Jump.
Law of Ueki.
I'm talking about Shonen Jump stuff, like stuff that like the big 3 or whatever. I don't have any One Piece or Bleach or Naruto. I think all that's pretty bad. One Piece is the only one that I can tolerate, manga wise. So there, I hate Naruto. All right, something non-mainstream Flip doesn't like. I don't like Color of Rage by Kazuo Koike. I think it's his worst manga that he's written. I thought that was a very boring book. Didn't go anywhere. Didn't do anything for me. I think so. 0 out of 10. Color of Rage is bad. Are you a big Kazuo Koike fan?
No, all of his stuff. Okay, I am kind of fascinated by how everyone he draws looks vaguely German.
Well, does he actually? It's usually the artist, right? Because I don't think he's ever. Has he ever?
Oh yeah, you're right. That would be what's his face? The guy that drew Crying Freeman.
I think the same guy, because he works with like a handful. Like the same guy did Lone Wolf and Cub,
Samurai Executioner, Path of the Assassin.
Yeah. Oh, that's Ryuichi Kigami. Yeah. No, Kazuo Koike is the writer. Let's see. Lone Wolf and Cub, Lady Snowblood's was obviously good. Well, he also wrote Mad Bull 34.
That's a masterpiece.
If that helps you. Hanape Bazooka with Go Nagai. That was rough. That was pretty rough. Yeah, God, I'm just looking at what he's written. It's just all over the place. There's just some absolute garbage and some
absolute gems. Like Lone
Yeah.
Wolf and Cub is a. You know what? I've been watching the Lone Wolf and Cub movies, and the first movie has like just a child breastfeeding off of a woman just like right away. Is that a real baby?
Probably.
Huh. Because I didn't know if that would fall into like, you know, like a, because I don't know, because it probably is the mom. It's probably the mom and kid.
Well, also Japanese law for okay, so this is a whole another can of worms, but for years Japanese law was that if little kids are naked, it's not porn because they're little kids, so it's fine.
No, I didn't view it as pornography. I just like I've never seen that in a Western show, so I was just like, "Whoa!" Like that's kind of cool.
Tom Popo ends with a breastfeeding, and that's a legend of Japanese cinema.
I haven't seen that, so.
Oh, you need to see Tom Popo. It's the best food movie ever made.
Okay. I'm not
Criterion release.
By the way I worded that made me sound like I was very anti-breastfeeding. I'm not. My wife breastfeeds in public. Of course, people give her dirty looks, and it's just like, what the? No, just knock it off.
Yeah. I think she can, Rick Sanchez it up and just, middle finger everyone.
Oh, I would love to see my wife. She's so quiet, but then like in the car, she's like, I'll fucking smack that bitch. Like she's just.
Why don't we wrap it up there for this week?
All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you're new, smash that subscribe button, smash the like button. Share.
Oh, and if you want audio, podcast is available. Look it up on your podcast app.
Yep, leave us a 5-star iTunes review. Have you seen our shows that are related to us? Have you ever looked at them?
No, on iTunes?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh God, dare I look?
The first time I looked, I was like, "That's nothing like anything. That's nothing like us at all." Let's see if I can find just like real fast. There it is. Favorites Pro. Related show, the McMillions podcast, HBO. Newcomers, Star Wars, Pop Culture Happy Hour, The Big Picture, the Brooklyn Nine-Nine podcast, Bachelor Happy Hour. We are just.
I don't really.
The killing of John Benet Ramsey. So that's
okay, and that is
that's how we're leaving it.
They nailed us. They nailed us.
Jesus. All right, guys, have a good one. We'll see you guys next week.
All right, take care, guys.